Hi folks, and welcome to tutorial number 3 on the real estate investor portfolio tracker. The portfolio tracker is designed to assist investors in managing their portfolios and optimizing the performance of portfolios. So whether that's optimizing rental returns, whether that's tracking capital growth, whether that's tracking the expense and interest rate management of the property, whether that's tracking details on who the tenants are and when their next rents are up for review, and whether it's even tracking the property manager. Portfolio's designed to help you with that. So the portfolio tracker, as you can see, sits in the real estate investor website in an online secure section of the site. So that ensures your personal details of your property when stored online are pretty secure. So a couple of things with the portfolio tracker. When you log in and go to use the portfolio tracker, if you go into the help screen on the right hand side, you can see there is a step-by-step process for setting up the portfolio tracker. That's all laid out there for each of the 8 sections of the portfolio tracker. So that's obviously a tool that you can use once you set up portfolio tracker. Once you want to get started, some good descriptions in there on the fields, on the information on how they work and that kind of stuff. So that's just in the help section there in portfolio tracker. So we'll have a look at portfolio tracker now. The portfolio tracker is made up of a number of sections, as I said: property, tenancy, cash flow, equity, portfolio, contacts, goals and gallery. So we're looking at the property section right now on the screen, and you can see this allows us to add and edit details of our property, where it's located. We can edit that kind of information quite easily, and you'll see there all the editable fields that allow us to change the location of the property itself. Edit, save, update, that kind of stuff, change bedroom information, bathroom information, all those kind of things. So it's just as simple as editing and saving changes. You get a security prompt, of course, each time. So that's where we track information on the property, the size and square meterage of the property. We can do a bit of a postcode search in New Zealand or Australia if we're not sure what the postcode is. When we go to the tenancy section, what this allows us to do is to track details on who our tenants are. That's quite important. Whether we're managing the property ourselves or running it under management, we want to keep track, of course, of the weekly rental income, when the lease is up for renewal or coming to a conclusion, and also when the next rental review is due, if we've got that scheduled as well. That helps us to manage the manager, stay on top of rent reviews, and make sure we maximize cash flow as we go along. Now I'm going to go across to the next section, the cash flow section. This is a section that's probably a little bit more full of detail or information than the others, but essentially in here what this allows us to do on an annual basis is to track by property a summary for the year of the way our mortgage is structured, whether it's interest only or P&I, the kind of interest rates that we're paying, mortgage expenses, property expenses, management costs, and also to build in some of those pieces of information out of the analyzer if we're initially looking at a potential property that we haven't purchased yet. This gives us the ability to take the information out of the analyzer on expenses, on estimated depreciation, some tax deductibility information, and easily calculate the pre-tax and after-tax cash flow on a new property, and see what that impact has on our overall portfolio. So you can see with the cash flow summary section here, we're getting some pretty good data across our portfolio now on after-tax cash flow, yield against the purchase price, yield against current valuation, that kind of stuff. So when we go across to the equity section, this allows us to look at details around the original purchase price of the property, when we purchased the property, if we've had a current valuation done, what that date was, and what the current valuation amount is, what the mortgage balance is right now, of course, who our mortgage is with, and some details on if we've got a fixed interest period in place, when that interest rate is up for review, or when we're going to come off our fixed period. Of course, in the current environment, that's pretty important to know that. And then some information here on how long the property's been owned and what our average annual rate of growth has been, calculated off what we paid for the property originally and calculated off the last valuation date and the valuation amount. So that's a little bit of information that helps us to track that kind of stuff. So again, that information is really easy to edit and update. Really simple process. Some calendar prompts there for us to choose dates from, and then we simply save changes. When we go to the portfolio section, this is where we've got some good solid data on the KPIs of our portfolio particularly against what a bank or financier is looking for. So in a situation where we're looking to refinance to buy a new property, this allows us to look at our current value by property and across our portfolio, our net equity details, our loan to value ratio details, which of course is the ratio of mortgage debt against the property value. In many cases the bank or the financier is looking to keep that below 80% in the current environment, but as you know, mortgages historically have ranged from anywhere between 60 and even 95% of the property's value. In addition to that, the debt service ratio is automatically calculated, and this allows us again to look at the ratio of rental income against mortgage servicing, some ratios our broker or financier are going to want to see, and then some details on after-tax cash flow for our portfolio, capital growth, and what the total capital growth of the property's been for the entire time we've owned it. So with Portfolio Tracker, one of the helpful tools is the ability to email a snapshot of the portfolio to our banker or broker and have them look at our portfolio and give us some indicative feedback on our likely ability to free up additional equity, and based on our loan to value ratio, based on our debt service ratio, and give us an idea as to whether it's worth going to the application stage for refinancing for the purchase of a new property. So that's how we'd use that information under the portfolio area. I'm going to jump into the contacts area. This section of Portfolio Tracker is pretty straightforward and pretty simple, but essentially it's along the concept that when you build a portfolio and it covers a reasonably large geographic area, clearly you might have different companies you engage, different maintenance people, valuation people, accounting people even, that you engage that relate to each of your properties. So this allows you to set up some contacts under each of those kind of categories, from insurance to valuation to legal to whatever. And allows you to simply edit and add some simple business card contacts, so you can track that kind of information easily and keep track of the service providers you use for your different properties, so that that's all in one place and in your portfolio. So now we head across to the goals section. This is an easy, simple section to set up. You can track some goals, some financial information, pretty simple and pretty straightforward. And then finally, in the gallery section, this allows you to upload and track images on your properties, so you can keep a bit of a track of those. If you've enjoyed this tutorial and you're not already a member of Real Estate Investor and you want to find out how Portfolio Tracker can help you maximize your returns, action poor performing investments, track your equity growth, help you with refinancing and reinvesting, find out why our members now already track more than $1.1 billion worth of property using Portfolio Tracker, come along to one of our webinars where we'll give you a 60-minute demonstration on all of our tools, find out how investors are using revolutionary new technology that's changing the way New Zealand and Australian investors find, analyse and track their property investments. Visit investstarsearch.com.au or investstarsearch.co.nz, and we'll see you online.